You should explore work. I think you sitting at home and collecting your Social Security check, while that may seem safe and secure, that's a bad choice. You're missing out on so much of life in terms of a job. And then they'll say, people say things like, well, nobody will hire me and this and that. And what I would say to them is, they need to, first off, like all of us, examine their gifts and abilities and figure out where their strengths are and play to those strengths. You're not going to go into an employer and say, oh, I have a disability, would you hire me, please? You have to go in with the attitude of, I'm a qualified worker. I bring these talents, I bring these abilities, I bring these kind of, and I could be a real asset to your business. You need to be really good, though, at selling that, because people often will see the disability first. The other thing I tell people is they should probably try to get some assistance, if they haven't already, with some kind of community program or their public vocation rehabilitation system or some of the programs that are out there. And find a good one, because they aren't all good. Some are very good, some do great work, and some are, frankly, not very good at this. If they need assistance, somebody who can guide them and help them, maybe even talk to employers on their behalf if they want that, and get that kind of assistance. The third thing I would say, particularly if there's concerns about their benefits, because that's often a concern, is that there's assistance out there that's available, and people who can, who are experts on public benefits, and, that can provide that. They're funded by Social Security. They're called work incentive planning and assistance programs. Because so part of the message I would say is, you may think I'll lose my benefits if I go back to work, because that's often what people say, and I would say to them, it's probably not true. You'll probably keep your Medicare and Medicaid or public health insurance. You may, your Social Security check may be reduced. You may lose that, but that will be replaced by a job, and hopefully earnings from a job. So you should at least make sure you've got the facts from the right people. People may be telling you things, your brother, your sister, your peers. That's not, talk to the experts on that. The other thing I would say to them is, you're missing out on an awful lot of life if you're not working. Not only is it going to give you a paycheck, but I know in my own life, I can't imagine not working. The people I've met, my coworkers, the fulfillment it's given me. And not that every job is perfect, and not every job is providing that. Sometimes a job is just a way to a paycheck, but it's still being part of our society. It's still getting to know people and being out and about. And it's not healthy for people to sit home every day. It is absolutely, and there's been no study ever done that has shown that work has a negative impact. It is at best neutral in terms of, particularly for people with mental health issues, because people say, oh, if you go to work, you can't, your mental illness, with your mental illness, you're gonna decompensate and all this. There's been no study that's ever shown that work has a negative impact, and generally, the impact is positive in terms of an individual's life and in their mental health. So I would say for anybody, it's a bad choice, and and working out in the community and earning a paycheck is a good thing. And there's opportunities out there, and there's assistance and people who are willing to help. And the other thing is, like any job search, you're going to have to be persistent. You've got to know your strengths, you've got to know yourself, you've got to practice, and you've got to, really work at it. Probably more so than the average person, because frankly, people with disabilities, there's still discrimination, and it's still sometimes tough for employers to really see, what you bring to the table. So you really have to work at it. It can't be just going out and filling out a couple of job applications. It's got to be knocking on lots of doors. It's got to be using your personal networks. It's got to be getting assistance and all that. So that's what I would tell them.